Let's see, grab my controllers. Here we go. So, it's been a little while since I've had a chance to make something, but here we are again. Bring it back in, set our thing vertically correctly, roughly. Okay. Let's see. Grid snap. Right. How do I want to do this? Let me see which is better. To layer. I want to try and make it so it goes vertically. Just want to set up a few vertical lines. So maybe I don't even need to bother with it. I wish I could make it. Is that orienting to the whole thing? I think it is. All right. Anyway, sorry. Turn off grid snap. So today I was thinking about making a bit of an environment. Background-wise, a couple days ago, I was on Facebook and I posted this idea I had for this alien race that, while they're alive, are all male, and then when they die, they essentially become like almost plant beds or something. But the female of the species is the dead one, and then the dudes will find. Well, back up for the nobility when they are nearing death. This was actually back up a bit more. I shared that on Facebook, and a couple people, my friend Dan and Carl, were talking with you too about it, and we just kind of were like maybe jamming out some ideas. And one of the things that I had thought about was that for the nobility, they get placed in temples with lots of traps, essentially, and that come on, where's my layer? Layer one. There we go. There we go. Decrease size. And that's how they ensure the strength of the species is that anyone who wants to go further the noble line has to penetrate through these temples and the traps, and that proves their worthiness. And Dan had this cool idea that as they near death, I guess better, as they near death, the nobles of the species would basically take journeys as far into the southern wastes as they could, and that the further they got, the stronger essentially they would prove themselves to be. And then once they got there, the priests that managed the whole sort of process would build a temple there with those sorts of traps. And so that the heroes, as it were, would have to first penetrate all the way down into the wastes and then go into these temples and go that way. So, which I thought was a cool idea. I was like, oh, neat, yeah. It's kind of a further one step up from what I was thinking. And it's why it's always kind of cool to share your ideas with people, because you get other cool ideas. But anyway, so I was thinking today I would make a temple, kind of all over the place talking, would make a temple based where one of these nobles has met his end. He's finally died. And the idea was it would be while he was climbing down this giant cliff in the wastelands. And now clearly the priests and stuff have food and whatever else that lets them, you know, come to and from here and bring workers and all that kind of stuff, so that you could get here without it having to walk it. But so that's how they would be able to go this far into the waste and then make this sort of, you know, temple beyond that. But I was just thinking, in a cliff could be super cool, just as an idea. And then, like, you guys can't see how big this is, but like that, it's a monster cliff. So I'm thinking like you know, 2/3 of a kilometer high kind of thing, cliff. I'm just gonna try now the move tool. Let's see if we can stretch it out a little bit. Just kind of make it a bit more interesting. I'm just doing this very little res because this is just the ground plane, basically. Instead of a ground, it's going to be a wall plane. But I think when we we'll have to put some higher res rocks in places as we get nearer to where I want to put the temple. But I just want to make it, stretch it a bit so it doesn't feel as just stamped as it was. And this low res probably doesn't matter, but there you go. So again, all over the place in terms of me talking, but we got a race that proves how strong they are and how worthy they are to have children by going as far as they can before they die. And then we have a priest class that builds a temple there, and then a hero class that goes from there and does the adventure thing and finds those places. I'm going to pump it out a little bit too. And that's where we're starting from. So, and I've always loved the idea of like temples and stuff hanging off the side of rock walls. Clearly, a big sort of fairly modern influence would be I think it's the Southern Air Temple in Avatar, The Last Airbender, where it's just like these Bhutanese temples, but hanging off the inside of a cliff. I thought was super cool. That's kind of one thing I was thinking about for this. And another one would be, I want to do something kind of a little bit Egyptian. Let me turn on elastic, see what it does. And, oh, that's cool. So like maybe an Egyptian temple. But on the side of a cliff. And I think that's going to be my cliff for right now. It's going to extend. We're going to assume it extends further on either side, obviously, but this is just a place to get me started building the temple. Now let's still kind of getting used to Medium2 for some of the spaces. So let's see. Cliff, temple. Save. All right, and now I want to see how big am I for export. Where are we at now? Just under 1 million polys. Okay, that's fine. Cancel. I might even low res this down one more time. Let's see what it does, just to get it so I got lots of room to play. And now, just give me 1 second. My eye is just super itchy. I'm gonna take this off. Hopefully that's better. All right. I want to paint this real quick just to give it a bit of a texture. What do we got? Well, that's red. We don't want red. I think we want kind of I don't know, a dull. That's maybe a little too dull. I want to kind of go like an Arizona reddish brown. And increase saturation. Increase the saturation higher. Bring it up a little bit. Just give it a bit of spray. I need to change the material qualities, I think, otherwise for this layer, but that's good enough for right now. Actually, I can do it. Paint size, opacity, hardness. I'm not sure what hardness does. Oh, the edge. Okay, so the brush hardness. Yeah, that's fine. It's not really materials. So there's our layer to start with. There's our first. Now let's see where let's go to the new layer. Add a sculpt layer. And I'm going to put the temple. Let's change the color of this just to give it something different. I can see the temple kind of here, like that. How big we want to make it? That might be not quite. Go away. Where do we want to put the start of it? Am I on a new layer? Make sure I didn't go. Yeah, I'm still on layer 2. And res is... Okay. Oh, now my thing is messy. Having one of those mornings. My eyes are... There we go. It's quite swampy in here today, and I'm just getting sweat on my goggles. It makes it harder to see. Okay, so something like that could be a good starting point for where we want our temple to be, our temple entrance. Although it's a little high up. That kind of, let's see. I'm still just trying to figure out exactly where I want it to be. Maybe before I do that, let's just back up a little bit and just do a bit of sketching and not try to model it yet. So you got a platform here, and like a big pillar here, and a pillar here. Yeah, okay, I'm liking this way better. Okay, trying to walk or run before I'm walking here. And across. Like that. So get a bit bigger. Okay, and then just kind of. So this is just a sketch layer to get an idea where I'm going with this. And then maybe though we do want to kind of stick out a bit more. Do you want to turn on just for funsies? Turn on grid snap. That's interesting. I don't really plan on doing that, but hey. That's kind of a weird, it's not always, you'd think it would grid snap properly. I've heard that there are some bugs with the grid snap a little bit. So maybe like this. Just kind of throwing some lines out. Let's see. So that's more vertical for it, which is interesting to see how it goes differently. So that could be, all right, maybe. Yeah. So our temple kind of does to here. Why is it not lined up properly? And then zoom in and take it to half that. Yeah, I still think there are some bugs with this thing. Am I outside of my... No, I'm in zone. Why am I not drawing? Let's look. No stroke tapering, continuous, steady. See if that does it. No. Am I outside of my zone? Let's see. No, I'm in the zone. So weird. I don't know. Well, screw it. I'm just going to turn off. Bye-bye. No more grid snap. This will still give us what we want to start with. So I kind of want to feel a little bit more, I don't know, fantastical anyway. But I like this, actually. This is cool, that it doesn't necessarily feel 100% super boxy. So come out, and I know I'm not vertical now because I got my grid off, but that's okay. There's no need for it to necessarily go with that. So yeah, you're gonna come all the way, you have to scale down here, and then for fun, that's not too big a scale. Let's just see what happens if we... Am I on layer 1? Not on... that was my problem. I was all on layer 1. Yeah, okay. Fine. I must have backed up a bit too much. Let's just... Layer 1. Do it again. Now I know why it wasn't working. Cool. And now I have an idea. Because I think I want to move it down a little bit. Layer 2. Sorry, we're a bit out of these things. But, you know, sometimes it actually can help you more to try it and then erase it and do it again. Because one of the things I saw was that it was a little too close to the top of that cliff. I want it to feel like more epic. I'm just going fast, so it's not hitting my string exactly correctly. So maybe this is going to be where you have to walk down to, or climb down to, walk. They only wish they could walk. Yeah, all right. So this is going to be the structural part of our temple. And there. Cool. Yeah, all right. And actually like that does that. That's cool. And then you have to climb down to here, and then maybe your entrance is going to be like right there. I don't really have a scale set really well yet. But cool. Okay, I can live with that. I thought I had a different piece. Now, turn off grid snap again. And let's go make ourselves a new sculpt layer, for a real one this time. Now that I've actually, I'm gonna do that much. I'm just gonna do big as I can make it there, and we're gonna do this. Turn off elastic, and we're just gonna active layer only, 100% inner radius, and drag us along. And this is the best way, in my opinion, to make a floor. I'm just going to bring it out and play hell with my polys. Yeah, you're thinking. So I'm just using the move tool, dragging things around. I'm probably too high res. I'm almost certainly too high res. Come on. I should have shrunk. I should have dropped the resolution of this layer down before I started dragging it around, because this is big. And I'm probably just going to have to stop this layer and redo the layer, but it's thinking. I'll pop up my eyes and see if anyone said anything on Facebook. Let's see. Huh, thanks, Armand. Cool. Woo! Always feels like forever when you're waiting, and particularly if other people are watching you, and you're like, oh God, come on. Oh yeah, see, that's high res. Let's decrease it. Which will take us a second. And now, drag it some more. Yeah, see how much faster that is now? Woohoo! And I'm dragging it some more. Some more. And my edges are not clean here, as you can tell. But I can now just go and cut it back to the sketch superstructure layer with the erase tool. And now it's once again kind of back to reasonably where I want it to be. Same thing here, because I think I have plans for that. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit because I don't need all these polys on the inside. So we'll just optimize a little bit by going in here and shrinking the floor down. I don't know that it does that much, but it does some. Okay, anyway, so there. Now we have a platform of some kind. Now let's go back through, and now I'm just going to brush it, I think, to add more. And I also want to give it a bit more variance. Because because it gets very smooth looking, obviously, if you just use the move tool, which can be cool. Move tool is amazing for doing things like the sides of vehicles, because you get just some like really cool cut lines that you might not otherwise even think about. And I really dig it for that. But sometimes for this kind of stuff, I'm actually not even sure. I think this texture is good enough, but I'm gonna have to adjust this to make it look less spray on, but I think that'll give me something. Again, just kind of trying to get us a place where we're good. And then I'm probably gonna turn off this superstructure and then fill it in. Let's see if I got what I need. Because almost certainly I do not all the way yet, but give me a start. All this is about getting a start and finding the happy accidents. Okay, so now I have some kind of a box. I don't have a floor yet, which I might not even need if I never turned it over to look at it, but we'll put one in there. So it's like just a simple box essentially on the side of a cliff right now. Okay, so we got our box in place. Let's now go and turn off layer 2. Okay, so now we got it without that sketch. And we can see that, yes, we do need to kind of clean it up a little bit here. And fill that hole in here. And this one here. Okay, so this is the box of our temple. This is our, like, come in here. And now I'm gonna go and just to give it a quick pass with the smooth tool. Make it feel a little bit more weathered. The other thing too is, like, once I take this out of medium and bring it into Keyshot or Octane, I can give it a normal layer or normal texture, and sometimes even a displacement texture if I take it into Octane. So we can add back in details, but we'll do it at the texture level instead of at the modeling level. And this just kind of makes things feel a little less, I don't know, sprayed on there. Like, I don't want it to feel like I just splatted this one texture or this one stamp on. Okay. All right. So we got a box, but it's kind of a boring box, and we got to figure out how it's hanging out from the side here. We want to make it, give it a bit more visual interest. So let's go back and add another new layer. Change to a different brush. And I'm going to even, I think, turn on the line constraint now. I'm going to line it up so it's right on it. And create some pseudo-looking structural supports. I don't think they'd actually do much, but yeah, this is movie logic. We like movie logic. I kind of want it to feel organized, but not super well so. I do want it to kind of have a precarious feeling to it. And also, I think the vibe that I want to go with is that this may not be an active culture. This could very well be a ruin. Am I outside of my zone? Yes, I am. I'll have to fix that with another one. So, like, I want it to have that ruin. I don't know. Maybe the best vibe I can think of is, this is kind of this what I think of when I think of, like, John Carter of Mars. You know, like, I want it to be alien, but old feeling. So like this is something you could find on Barsoom if you were walking around, you know. And now hopefully I'll get that by the time we're done. That's my goal. So just kind of adding to the structure a bit. And then let's take off that part. And add again. Okay, so we're on the side of our mountain, coming down. I'm gonna give it structure there, and there, and let's go directly across there to there. But yeah, because I don't want it to have that perfect high-tech feel, I did not turn on symmetry. I don't want to the end of my thing there. I don't want it to feel symmetrical. I want it to feel a little bit built in. I'm going to have to add that. So I don't know if you heard me mumbling. What happens at this edge and here is that if you see this square box, that's my boundary for this layer. And I didn't set it super properly, so I'm going to have to make another layer where I change the boundary slightly to fill in those areas because it won't let me paint past where that is. Okay. So maybe let's do that now. Add a new layer. And then we will move it so that I don't need anything past the front, but I need to go further back. So you can see now the boundary should be better. Am I not to the right side? This way. I might actually, let's decrease the res, which should give me a bigger box. Yes. So as we get off to the side here, matters less. If our res is quite as high, so I'll take it down. And then I'm probably being pissy because I don't know that this even really matters back here, but I'm going to pay attention to it. And here. Yep, just line up the edges and running the line tool across it. Okay. And maybe just one more kind of down here, like that, and then up and up. Okay, good enough. So, yeah, it feels precarious as a motherfucker, but okay, that's all right. Finally, I think we have a structure. Let's, all right, save. Okay, so now, new layer. Like I said, I'm a little bit big probably for what I probably wanted to do. I probably should have made it a bit smaller. But I think this will be okay for where we're at. Let's tighten this up a bit. I'm just going to give it... I do want it to feel rough, but I don't want it to feel too rough. So we need some hard edges that make it feel like, yes, this is actually constructed and it's not just some weird piece of rock floating off the side of the mountain. That, you know, when this was built 100,000 years ago or whatever, in the heyday of the empire, that, you know, it was a building, it was a structure. And I think having some hard edges will help with that. Cool. Yeah, like that. I'm liking having, I like that diagonal edge here on this side too. Just having the side not be 100% square. And that there. Put a platform here. Platform there. Cool. Okay. And now would be a good time to kind of talk about what the scale for this guy is going to be. Let's see. I created, do I have, are they just in, I don't think I moved them yet. Custom. Yes, I have them here. I made these guys last weekend. So I have people I can use to represent the scale I want this to be. I think that is about the scale I want for a human being. So the door would, yeah. Yeah, okay. Super cool. So there's my reference layer for scale for people. Now, back to here. And it means we need to build our door structure to get into this place somewhere. Could be right here. I think right here seems like a good place for it. Okay, and ugh, no. All right, let's turn off line constraint. Now we can carve back into that a little bit. Okay, so this is where our doorway is going to be. Let's go to, let's just try this rock actually, not that rock. That rock. And set it there. If anyone asks, these guys were warriors. No one said they were great architects. No, I don't actually be. Is this flatter that side? Yes. Okay, let's turn it over. Let go. There we go. So if you turn it, if you hit the switch sideways, it lets you kind of release and grab your brush from a different angle. And I was having a bit of trouble getting it to let go. So that is where the doorway is going to be. Let's go back to layer 7 and move our dude over just a little bit, give a bit more room. And then go back to layer 6. And there's our front. And we're going to put the entrance right here, I think. What layer is that? That's that. Okay, we're going to carve into there. Carve into there. Ooh, see? Looks kind of cool. You already see us like we got going down. If we were being trippy, we could like stare. And if I wanted to be insane, I could go here and literally start modeling the inside of this thing now. But we're not going to do that. I am not quite that crazy today. And I got things I'm doing later. It's the summertime. But there's our entranceway. And let's do that. We will do that. So we're just going to leave it open as a hole. Like they're going to come in and there's like steps. Going down. If once there was a metal door or something on this, it has been destroyed by the sands of time. So cool. Okay. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of reasonable. Like, look at the sides of the pyramids; they look kind of shitty now. They're, time is not kind to these things, and pyramids are what, 3,000 to 4,000 years old max, and we want to say that this is like 20,000 years ago that this was made. Let's go with a new layer, and I'm gonna maybe just grab a different color, slightly orange. Okay. Just to give me something different. And I want to start adding to the sides of it. Let's go back to our rocks. And I've been using these and this one, but this is kind of a neat pre-built kind of. One thing I don't like about it, if you look, is it's got those like tree or things on it or whatever. Actually, trees on the other one, I think, but it's still okay. We'll use this to lay in some architectural elements. Let me shrink it down a little bit so we can take a step back. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing down here. And then the same thing down here. So I've got continuous turned on. Actually, do I have the line constraint turned on? I think I did. No, what is that line? That's some kind of, I think that's an artifact from this new version. It's a bug. But yeah, I'm not stamping as a single, I'm stamping in a continuous. So if I set to single, like, it gives me just one, and it's perfect, but it's the same size exactly every time. This one's going to introduce a little bit of wobble for me. I actually kind of want that wobble this time, since I'm not doing a mechanical thing. And this one, I think I'm going to do the same thing in here too. Fill that space in. And there we go. If I had been preparing for this for a while, and if I were doing this sort of for really reals, I would probably have made some custom shapes of like Grecian pillars or whatever. And that would have helped me stamp this out very quickly. I don't have those right now. I could make some. For example, if we wanted to make a pillar, new layer, we could just go, actually, I'll make a pillar. Why not? Yeah, I'll use it. Turn my constraint so I'm vertical. Let's turn off, well, we won't turn off yet. Shrink it down. This is a real shitty pillar, sorry. No, too much. All right, fine. Now let's switch to the square. Turn off line constraint. Keep it on erase. Okay, and now go to here. Get as big as I can. Perfect. Cut that in. Cut that in. That in. So what I'm doing is building my own custom stamp. So it's going to kind of distress it a bit. Let's go grab this one. And I don't want to destroy it so much that it feels like it's all just been turned to crap, but I do want it to kind of have a bit of like, let's go into this corner. Where? Okay. Yeah, That's cool. I'm liking that. So now, because it's on its own layer, let's turn into a stamp. Now, I can make more of them. And there's another one. So let's turn off that layer. Actually, let's just delete that layer because save the polys. And let's place a couple of these. See, this is how one makes their own custom shapes in this tool. Again, I'm on continuous. I could stamp them out as individual, which I might do now. And there's one on the top. Cool. These are neat looking pillars. And then one there. So maybe at one point there was another whole layer to this temple, and we have since lost it. Kind of gives it a neat crown look too. And we'll go to this one and shrink it down. And you'll note that it kept the color now, which is cool. It didn't used to do that. The new version now, when you save a stamp, it saves it with the color, and that's cool. A couple of like things have fallen. There used to be more, but time, maybe on Mick Jagger's side, but it's not on these guys' side. No, it ain't. So I'm just gonna break it up. Like some of these have fallen off into the okay. Yeah, off to the side like that. I don't like this whole front though. There needs to be something more there. It just feels very plain, which I mean could be okay, but I want a bit more. That's a few more. I do like the one going across. Maybe I want it to go turn off single and go to continuous and line. It wouldn't be there though because we have ones from the bottom there. But here, still a little bit of up. They haven't all fallen down into pieces yet. Cool. Yep, digging that. Let us save. So what to do with this front thing here? I don't like it yet, but I don't know what to do with it. I think I'll go to this and go to the new layer. And I'm going to turn off constraint and single. I just want to try. Let's try something else. This is something I haven't experimented with yet. The angle snap. Keeping it consistent. It's a little bit weird. I don't like it. I'm sure at some point I will like it later, but I don't like it now. A lot of these tools take a little bit of getting used to for that kind of thing. So it's got some rock things on the front now. And then we can do the same kind of vibe we were doing before. Just want to check something. Yep, that'll work. I'm just distressing it. Getting some edges. Cool. Maybe. So doors are about that big, huh? Maybe what I want to do. That could be cool. Continuous again. And line constraint again. And that. No, I don't want to have that texture. Like that. Any better? Yeah. Much better. But I do want it out more. This is going to give me what I want, though. Almost. Eventually, this will give me what I want. Okay, good enough. And then now the doorway. And cool, stairs. And pillar. Single. And the doorway into there. So maybe this is like a trap, and like that one looks like people think that's the door, but the actual door is down here, and you have to kind of climb around. And this one could go into some awful, antechamber kind of area. Who knows? Cool. And then we're going to say here. You want that layer selected. Continuous. I'm going to carve into it a bit. Make it kind of look like it's been beat up, and maybe that side fallen down more. And not quite that much. There we go. A little bit of distortion. And the same thing here. Distress the crap out of that. I don't know. It's not feeling like I'm not super loving the design, but it's an idea to play with. I think I might like it more actually, though, if add a layer, decrease the res, decrease the res, decrease the res. Make this freaking huge, yeah. Okay. I have not used this move tool that much yet today. It might be time. Ugh, I wish the move tool, okay. Do two. I wish the move tool was not a circle. I would kill for a square move tool. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's working better for me. And then another new layer. Decrease res, decrease res, decrease res. Across to there. Yeah, I like it better when it's filled in and not when it's a loose superstructure like this. No. I think I'll have that superstructure sticking out the side. And I'm just gonna build that in the rest there. Okay, yeah, that's better. Just do it that way instead of. And we are deep in the wastes, right? They don't have access to the best construction materials. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Again, not even though. Maybe I want it to go a bit more. Undo. More of that way. Yeah. There we go. Better. And we'll get it in there. Yeah, I like that better. I think it's stronger for having a solid. Throw a few more of those out to the side anyway. Like I said, I'm not really worried about the colors because all this is going to be changed in QShot later. So there's our temple. I'm gonna go to like our first layer. Where's our ground, right? Yeah, and can I make it bigger? Yes, I can, but I need to move it back in closer to where I want it to be. And that I'm gonna have to get rid of. But sure. Make the whole thing. Yeah, like now it's cliff. Yes. Okay, so now we're on that first layer still. Let's just grab that paint color. Make that as big as we can. And I'm just gonna get rid of that rock thing that I didn't really want there. Because that was part of my sketch that I kind of screwed up and didn't think about. So we'll do that. Maybe we will leave that. Well, I have to do something different with it, but I might put something like that there. But for right now, let's get rid of it. Okay, so now we got this huge cliff with this like ramshackle temple on the side of it. You know, here's the interesting thing is like maybe in our story, our noble wasn't particularly rich. He was just strong. So he didn't have the luxury of getting the world's coolest temple built, but he's still on the side of this cliff deep in the southern wastes, ready to go. And coming forward, got our people. I'm gonna turn our people layer off now. Just gonna delete them because I don't need them there. And save. So now, I had talked about that before. I liked that idea of having a little bit of construction stuff up here. So new layer, decrease theirs once, but not a lot. And paint, just so I can see. Grab that color. And then we'll put just some rock, some elements here. Like maybe this is, they use this to construct the place, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily still components. Maybe this temple was even bigger once, long ago. Back to straight, Looking at it, shrinking it down. Like, this is size-wise huge. I'm curious. Let's save. And let's go look for size. We're at 20 million polys. So we're kind of large. He's grande, yeah, yeah. And I kind of just want something there. Let's go to our primitives. And did they give me anything that I think is cool for this? I'm surprised there's not a pyramid in here. It just seems like it would be a good one to have. I may need to make myself one of those. I got some round ones, but yeah. Okay. And then select our. I'm going to use my custom kind of penis looking shape, calling it like it is. Just to cut into this thing. Hey. There we go. I don't know what it's doing there. But at one point, maybe this was something. And now it's not. And then for that same kind of vibe, I'm just going to use this shape here, which is funny because it has nothing to do with rock at all. It's some kind of like weird bubbly thing. This is one of Scout's brushes that I just love the stuff that she makes. It's cool. But just like give it a bit of crumbly rock or something. And then a bit of like, this is the same thing on the side here. So like, I don't know what it is, but like something has fallen down over time here. Lost some rocks, some dirt, whatever. Just a little bit of a grime on the edges there. And two. Yeah, cool, cool. And I don't know. I wouldn't say this is like my most successful sculpt by any means. I didn't really have a huge idea before I started, other than I just wanted something on the side of the thing. And originally I was thinking more cut into the side, and it kind of wound up on the outside. I think were I doing this for a real project, I'd probably make 4 or 5 more versions of this, and I would do one that was kind of cut into like a cave on the side, just to explore that. But I think I'm reasonably happy with it as an idea. And I think it's got some good storytelling elements for sure. And yeah, let's just export her out. I'm gonna decimate the shit out of it. She'll take it a few minutes, but it's just huge. It doesn't need to be that big. So we'll take it down to 2.5 million polys. And we'll call it Cliff Temple. Sure. Is it gonna even let me do it? Is it thinking? I gotta save. And let's try it again. Export. 10%. Vertex colors. Export. Oh, well, let me do it. 1. Oh, in exports. There we go. I go to folder to put it in. So it's going to decimate. That'll take it a few minutes, and then I'll bring it into KeyShot, and I'll post it up here so you can see where it's at. I mentioned at the very beginning, but thanks to Dan and Carl for jamming with me on some ideas for this alien race, even if it doesn't super come through with the sculpt. It was certainly something I was thinking about, and yeah, so I'll post it up, and we'll see where it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, bye-bye.